Hey guys, so before we get into the beginning of the video, I totally fucked up and somehow I am a dumbass and deleted the footage of me lip syncing to Savage by Megan the motherfucking Stallion, baby. So you guys, unfortunately it didn't work out, but it's okay. They would have copied, YouTube is strict. They would have gotten me for copyright. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy the rest. I hope you guys enjoy the video. Yeah, I'll be interrupting towards the end because again, my dumbass deleted the rest of the footage for Venus and Sagittarius. This was a complete mess to record. So I hope you guys understand the janky setup. Yeah, so enjoy the video. Bye guys. So today, guys, I'm so sorry. I had to give you all that intro because when I was tapping the Venus and Fire's energy, y'all, oh yes! This is the lit placement right here. Venus and Fire. If you got your Venus in Leo, Aries, or Sagittarius, man, y'all love to turn up. Y'all love to have fun. Y'all don't be taking shit seriously. People can't tame y'all motherfuckers. What? And I don't know why, but I know that Savage song by Megan Thee Stallion is going around and all that stuff. And guys, I will do an updated reading on Megan Thee Stallion because her energy is so fucking lit. I love her. But we will get into her tea later on. I wouldn't be surprised if Megan Thee Stallion had her Venus and Fire. I'm wondering, I will post her Venus placement below, but I'm wondering if her Venus placement is in Fire because I know she has her Mars in Leo, and whew, Megan Thee Stallion's energy is lit, and I was just channeling your guys' energy to talk about the Venus and Fire, and I felt this wholeheartedly for you guys. Man, y'all are lit as fuck. But before we get started talking my stuff, okay, if you guys would like to book a personal reading with me, email me at SadeStarotT@yahoo.com, okay, and let me know what reading you guys would like to book with me when you do, after I send back the flyer and all that good stuff. We're not going to stay too long on that, okay? I want to talk about these Venus and Fire, okay? Y'all kind of remind me of Venus and Air in this way, very lit, like Venus and Air, like damn, like, but Venus and Fire, even if you don't consider yourself lit, it's okay. Y'all like to have fun. You guys are very hard to lock down in relationships, and you guys just cannot be tamed. Like fucking Miley Cyrus says in her video, I can't be tamed, right? That's what I hear intuitively for Venus and Fire. So before I start talking about which Venus placement, before I start with one of the Venus placements, I just want to let you guys know, if you're new to astrology, that Venus is the planet of love, dedication, devotion. Knowing your Venus placement is crucial because it tells about your love language, how you love people. You know, that's why it's so important to know your chart, but also your Venus, you know. So let's talk about Venus and Fire, man. Y'all are lit as fuck. Like I keep saying, lit. That's everything I'm going to keep saying. Like I said in the earth, like, I kept saying practical, and then in the water I kept saying emotional and trust and loyalty, you know. Well, Venus and Fire, let's start talking about Venus in Aries. Venus in Aries is, every time I channel this energy, Venus and Aries people are ones that love to sexually express themselves. You guys, like I said, Megan Thee Stallion, wouldn't be surprised if she had Venus in Aries, but you guys are meant to, you know, not be locked down. You guys are meant to be explorative, and a lot of people can't handle that about you guys. A lot of people don't like that you guys can't settle down a lot of times. Now, when you guys do settle down, Venus and Aries, it's for fucking life, man. Like, Venus and Aries are ride or dies. Venus and Aries are those types of people that are ride or dies, will pull up for someone. Venus and Aries people are not for the faint of heart, okay? Like, if you step to a Venus and Aries, you need to have confidence, one, okay? You need to have confidence. You need to be sexually confident, sexually charged, confidently charged. Know where you're headed in life. Know, you know, back up your friends. Be that ride or die. Be passionate. Venus and Arians are very, very passionate people. Like I said, this placement is not for the fucking faint of heart, okay? They like to be in a relationship as long as it's stimulating them. So let's be very clear. So Venus and Aries get told that they're cheaters. A lot of people, like a lot of people say this about them, but you know, people also say in the Venus, with Venus and Leo, Venus in, Leo, Aries, and Sagittarius, they say that you guys are not, you know, you guys are cheaters. You guys will cheat real quick. But I can see why people say this, because you guys get bored very easily. Venus and Aries can get bored so easily. It doesn't take long for Venus and Aries to have options. You guys always have other people that want you, or wanting your attention, or craving your attention. This sign is not like Leo, in the sense where Leos like validation. You know, Aries like to have that one person, like from everyone, I mean, for Venus and Leo. Venus and Aries love having that validation from that one person that they're ride or die for. Like, they're not out there looking for other people's validations. Now, what else is in your chart? If you have a Mars in Leo, you got Moon in Leo, Sun in Leo, you might do this. You might seek validation outside of yourself, outside of your partner. But Venus and Aries people just want that one ride or die person. They don't want to have to keep looking around as they get older. Now, while Venus and Aries are young, Venus and Aries people will have multiple partners. You know, they don't like I said, they don't like to settle down very often when they're young. Okay, like, this is where the Venus sign can be a little bit difficult to rein, you know, that person in. You know, Venus and Arians love to explore. They like to go out and see what's out there. They're very passionate people. They know what they want. A lot of times Aries people will go for what they want. They get what they want. And Venus and Arians don't take well to rejection. Oh my God. It's talking about love, right? This is a sign that, in this placement, where they can become very vengeful if you reject them. They're the types of people that will, you know, kiss a person they're not even attracted to in front of their crush, like, just to, you know, make their crush pay attention to them, or make them jealous. You know, that's what I pick up on from this placement, and I'm tapping this placement, guys, so bear with me. So yeah, Venus and Arians, you guys, when it comes to your friendships, let's talk about that first, because the reason I want to touch on Venus and Aries in a friendship is because Venus and Aries tend to have a lot of friends, like a lot of friends, especially if they have Leo in their chart. But they have a lot of friends, but don't get it twisted. Just because they have a lot of friends doesn't mean that friend, you know, just because they have a lot of friends doesn't mean those friends know who they are. Venus and Arians are those types of people that, like I was playing that Megan Thee Stallion, they can turn up when need be, they can show out, but they go back home and completely act like a different person. Like, ones that can turn it on, turn it off pretty easily. They don't need to, they don't really need to be the center of attention, but they do like to compete for the spotlight. They do like all eyes on them when they ask for it, but a lot of times they don't need it. You know, they don't really need it. Do they want it? Yeah, they would want it. They do like it. They like to turn up. They like to have fun, especially with their friends. So when you are friends with the Venus and Aries, they're very loyal. Like I said, we're touching on the friends, because a Venus and Arians friends they're so loyal to their friends. Like, forget their relationships. Like, they're so loyal to their friends. You know, if someone tells their friend off, they're those types of people that will pull up and be like, what you say about my friend? Like, okay, it's going down. It's going down. You know what I mean? Venus and Aries are those types of people when provoked, which doesn't take long, because Venus and Aries can have a temper. But I would say their trigger in this placement is their friendships. Like, if they don't care if you looked at their friend because their friend looked at you, like, oh, they're turning up. They're like, you look at my friend a certain type of way, I'm coming for you. If they say it's okay. A lot of times Venus and Arians will even do it when their friends don't ask for it. Like, they're just so down to show how loyal they are to their friendships, you know. Venus and Aries can tend to blow their money, because the Venus in astrology placement does tell us how we spend our money on our friends, how we spend our money on our partner. So it can, Venus and Arians can tend to blow through their money very fast, because, you know, they're just living life. They're like, well, I'll have money when it, you know, like, they feel like money can just come to them easily. So they don't really think about the repercussions. And plus, Venus and Arians don't really, like to wait things out. They're not very patient. If you have your Venus and Aries, you're not a very patient person. You like instant validation on things that you want, things that, you know, you're very passionate about. You won't like to wait for things to just, you know, like a Venus, I was saying about the earth sign, the Venus and earth will like take their time and just plan things out and wait and wait and wait and have follow through with it. Well, Venus and Arians don't have follow through, one, because they need instant validation. They need it quick. They don't like to wait for things to just happen, you know, which I think goes for their, you know, their go-getter mentality. They're just like, okay, you know, like, I'm a go-getter, I'm gonna go get what I want, and that's that. Like, you're not gonna stop me, you're not gonna tell me that something isn't gonna work out. Like I was saying with Venus and Pisces, well, Venus and Aries are just like, they don't have time for that bullshit. They're like, if this is what I want to do, this is what I want to do, and I'm gonna do it, and I'm gonna have follow through if this is truly what I want. Venus and Aries can be cheaters. They do get bored very fast because, like I said, I find that Venus and Arians take their friendships more seriously than their relationships. Now, some of you Venus and Arians may tell me in the comments, no, I actually take my relationships more seriously. But, and I do agree with that too, but what else is in your chart? You know what I mean? So Venus and Arians, I think the reason I'm feeling this from them is because Venus and Arians they just have so many options when it comes to dating, so they don't feel the need to just linger on one person, especially if that Venus in Aries feels that that person isn't giving them what they want, or keeping the relationship fun and spicy and just like, you know, lit, basically. Another thing I'm feeling from Venus and Arian people is that they don't like people that make excuses, so this is going into their turnoffs. But they also have multiple options when it comes to dating. So I think that's why I'm feeling that they keep their options open, and they tend to be in like polygamous relationships. You know, they tend to be in polyamory, you know, some of them, if they're not very possessive, because Venus and Arians, don't get it twisted, they can be very possessive people. Arians in general can be very possessive, very fucking possessive. But it depends on what you mean to them in their life. Now, this leads me into talking about Venus and Arians cheating. Venus and Arians will cheat if they feel like the relationship is not going anywhere, if they feel stuck, if they just want to basically cause chaos, because Arian energy can tend to cause chaos and they don't even realize it half the time, but they're causing chaos and they become used to causing it because they need that excitement. You know, this is fire, so it's like, I need that excitement, I need to keep moving, I need to keep going and growing. And if I feel like the relationship is not going forward, then I need to shake shit up to do something about it. You know what I'm saying? So Venus and Arians feel like they need to shake shit up in order to keep moving, in order to keep things exciting. Again, this placement is not for the faint of heart, because they just don't. A lot of people feel like they can't handle them. They feel like, they're like, oh my god, I cannot keep up with you. You're just everywhere. You're bouncing off everywhere. Can you imagine a Venus and Virgo with this placement? Oh my god. Chaos. So yeah, guys, that is the Venus and Aries when they're in a relationship. Venus and Arians they can be, don't get me wrong, guys, Venus and Arians can be loyal. They can lock themselves down in one relationship, but they tend to hop from a relationship to relationship because they just get bored so fast and they like a challenge. So if you're not keeping the relationship fun, fresh, exciting, taking the Venus and Aries out on adventures and challenging them, and okay, a little bit makeup sex, having some fun arguments and stuff, not something too serious, but we're going to talk about the dark side of Venus and Arians because it does exist, okay, guys? But typically Venus and Arians, when they're evolved, they can be loyal. Don't get me wrong, they can cheat. Venus and Arians will grow out of it, though. They will grow out of it. It just takes a while. So if you're dealing with a Venus and Aries and you can stand it, try to be as patient with them as you can. If not, come back to them when they're older, because Aries are very self-indulged. You know, I hate to say this about you guys, but you guys like for everybody. You guys like for that, not everybody, but I'm sorry. Venus and Aries can be self-indulged. They like for that person's attention to be on them, not on someone else, not on, you know, they're just like, you're with me, what's the issue? I don't see an issue. let's press on, right? So Venus and Arians are also not afraid to confront when they're unhappy in a relationship. They are not afraid to tell you like it is. They're not like Venus and Libra where they'll be very passive aggressive. They're not like Virgo, well, they're just sulk and be in the relationship and just be passive aggressive, or like Cancer Venus is, like where they're just mope, you know, and get passive aggressive. Key word here is Venus and Arians are not passive aggressive people. So they will confront you. If they're very unhappy, they'll confront you. They'll tell it to you like it is. They'll be like, I'm not happy, you know, if they haven't cheated by then. But when you confront the Venus and Aries and you're in a relationship with them and you confront them and say, hey, Venus and Aries, why did you cheat on me? What was the issue? I was just bored. I needed a challenge. I needed to shake shit up. But it's not you though, you know, it's really not you. It's just me, you know, it's just me. I can't be tamed. I can't be locked down. I need to go out there and explore. I need my freedom, you know, and I was just bored. I mean, it really comes down to them being bored, which is like Venus and Aries. Like, really? Like, come on. Like, you're not happy in the relationship. Own it, move on. You know, don't drag shit out. Don't cheat. Because they can be prone to doing that. It's rare when they do that, but they can be prone to staying in things that they're not happy in and just kind of like, well, I'm not happy, so I'm just going to do things to like fuck up the relationship, you know, instead of just being upfront, they'll cheat. That is one way they can go behind someone's back. But typically, if the Aries Venus is involved, they won't do that. So like I said, Venus and Aries are very loyal to their friends. Their friends mean everything to them. They're ride or dies for their friends, and they can be ride or dies in their relationship, but it's gonna take a lot out of them to do that. I'd say they don't start doing that, I'm hearing, till they're like almost 30, like locking themselves down, because you know they're always, there's just so much more that they like to explore. They don't like to just, well, I like this, and what if this happens, and what if that happens, and what if this person comes along and I gain something from that? You know, this sounds so much like Venus and Libra, but we'll get to them. So yes, let's go on and move forward to their turn on and turns off. So some turn ons for them, I'd say, is, oh my god, they absolutely love when people keep the relationship exciting. They like very spontaneous sex. They like doing very spontaneous things. Spontaneity, I'd say, is the major key for them. They thrive off of people who keep things fresh, are very passionate. They love passion. So a lot of times Venus and Aries may start arguments with their friends or their family, or, you know, or more so their relationships. They will start arguments. They'll just be like, well, I'm sick of this. And then they're those types that will leave. If they're unhappy in a situation, they'll just bounce. You won't hear from them. They are not afraid, Venus and Aries, to cut people off if they're unhappy. So if you're making them unhappy, I'd say like you being boring is just like a major turn off for them. You not wanting to go to a club and keep things exciting and being confident in yourself is a major turn off for them. They don't have patience for people that are they get told too that they're promiscuous. They are. And so if you're very insecure and you step to them and they're just like, they can sniff that shit out a mile away. Like when someone is so like just so fucking insecure. Another turn off for Venus and Arians, I would say, is people that are stick in the muds, like just take life so seriously. They like to have fun. I keep saying that, but that's true. Like this placement, it's so fast moving, fiery, and it can't be held down. It can't be contained. And they like people that are very open to that. So they're the types that will, if they feel like it, they're very impulsive too. So if they feel like it, they will go out and do whatever the fuck they want. They'll wake up one morning and just be like, I'm gonna go out to a club at 12 o'clock at night. I don't even know if a club's open at 12, but you get what I'm saying. Like, they're the types that will be like, I want to go hiking today. And if they want to go hiking, they'll go hiking. And I want to go pop some Molly, you know, like, excuse me, but I want to go pop some Molly. Like, I don't care. Like, who cares? Like, let's go do it. They're the types that will, you know, club hop, or, you know, they can, like I said, there are tamed Venus and Arians, but I'm talking about majority of the ones I'm tapping into. Y'all like to have fun. You know what I mean? Like, they're the types that are just like, let's go have sex in an alleyway. Like, that's fun. Like, danger. Another thing I'd say for these people, like Venus and Sagittarius and Leo, I'd say they share that they love to do, like, they like to travel. They can stay home, but they typically don't like to stay home. And if you keep them locked up, they get very bothered and depressed and anxious. And that's when I feel the Venus and Arian can become chaotic and just you know, selfish. This placement, like I keep saying, is not for the faint of heart. They have their selfish moments, and it's important to let them have their space. They need their space. They don't like clingy people. This is a sign that hates clingy people. They do have that double standard where I can be clingy but you can't, kind of thing, like I was saying about Taurus. But it's like Taurus will get used to it. Venus and Arians, I feel, will never get used to that. um they also are those types that don't take well to you flirting with other people. If you flirt, they are those types that will pop off in front of people. They will embarrass you. They have no problems embarrassing people that piss them off. And if you can't handle that, if you just do things just to piss them off in general, I mean, they do find anger exciting. They do find anger exciting to some degree, but if it's just continuous, they get really bored and move on. Venus and Arians can tend to be smart asses, so they love smart people. They love people that are always moving. They hate slow people. That's a very big turn off for them. Oh my god, or indecisive people. Oh my god. If you are indecisive, a Venus and Aries is looking at you like, I'm done. I'm done with you. I can't do this. No, 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 no. I'm done. You know, and they will move on. Yeah, so Venus and Libra would not go with that. Another thing that I say is a turn off for them is people that are just like, don't get out there and enjoy life. This Venus placement, I'm tapping it, and it's just like, I want to just go do stuff and have fun. Like, I don't want to take my life so seriously all the time, you know, because this placement can tend to be adrenaline junkies. They like to have, you know, their adrenaline pumping and going. So you have to continuously have keep moving, keep going, keep growing. Like, oh my god, this is such a sign of Venus placement that can't stay still. So if that's not for you, I would not date these people. But like I said, they're very much adrenaline junkies. They're very much impulsive, and people can tend to think this is very selfish. They're those types that really don't care if they live or die a lot of times, and they'll just do very spontaneous things. They may also, you know, just go dirt bike riding, get on motorcycles. You know, they like anything that's fast, fun, and again, they like to have wild fun sex. So if that's not for you, this sign is not for you. Yeah, so that's what I would say about Venus and Arians. I hope that was in depth enough for you guys, but I hope I didn't repeat myself too much. But the main fucking thing I keep picking up for you guys is adrenaline, impulsiveness, can be loyal, can settle down, but it takes a while, and will move chaotically if needed. And they can tend to, Venus and Arians can tend to hurt people and be heartbreakers. They can break hearts. They will break your heart if they're not ready to be who you need them to be, kind of thing. You know, like if they're not ready to settle down, they don't care. They will move on. They will be like, well, this isn't for us. Let's move on. You know what I mean? And this can hurt people, because I find that Venus and Arian people people fall for them like hardcore, you know? And they're just like, oh, you know, whatever, you know. So some Venus placements, excuse me, that I feel would go very well with Venus and Arian is a Venus in, let's see, Venus in Scorpio would be very intense. Oh my god. I feel like these two would go though. Venus and Scorpio. For the water, Venus and air, I would say Venus and Gemini, or Venus in Sagittarius. But I would say Venus in Sagittarius for Aries Venuses. But I'm torn, because I feel like Venus in Leo and Venus in Sagittarius could go very well with these two. But I'm going to say Venus in Sag. Yeah, Venus in Sag for the fire. Venus for the earth, I would say Venus in, this is hard, because I would say Venus in Virgo. Yeah, because Virgos can be very freaky and like love to have fun. Virgos do like to have fun. They do. They're big partiers too. And yeah, for Venus in air, I'd say Venus in Gemini. So yeah, that's, you know, what I would say about the Venus placement for Aries. Now we're going to move on to Venus in Leo. Venus in Leo. Oh my god, you guys. I love you guys to some degree, but sometimes you guys are just wild and super, super duper possessive. People don't see this about Leos, but Leos are very, very possessive, and they love all of the attention to be on them. They like to give and receive love. This is a very passionate passionate sign. Venus and Leos are very, unlike Venus and Aries, Venus and Leos are very devoted. They don't take their relationships lightly. They're very devoted to their friends. They're very devoted to their partner. Leo is ruled by the sun, so you know the sun is very bright and showy and expressive. So these are the types of people that need their partner to be equally as giving and equally as receiving, because you know they love positive people too. Venus and Leos love positive people. They love positive energy. They do have a dark side, like I was touching on a little bit with Venus and Aries, where Venus and Arians can be selfish and just like totally be heartbreakers, you know. But Venus and Leos need someone as equally devoted to them as they are devoted to them. Venus and Leos, you know, really really take into account everyone in their life, even though they tend to be, you know, over the top and dramatic at times. You know, they can be very expressive and just so giving and loving and just there for you and just so caring and want the best for you, and they are like your cheerleaders. You know, Venus and Leos, what I pick up with them is that they're just so dedicated, like so dedicated to everything and everyone that is in their life. I'd say Venus and Leos are very smart about their money, because again the Venus placement talks about how we spend our money. So Venus and Leos are very good gift givers. Oh my god, the best gift givers ever. They love giving gifts. They love being of service. You just don't see this because, you know, Venus and Leos can come off very superficial when you're getting to know them. So people don't often, I find with the Venus and Leo placement, people don't really take the time to sit down and really get to know them. They just kind of like judge them right off the bat. They're like, this is what you're about. And Leos have so many layers to them, like so many layers to them. But Venus and Leos, I feel, are one of the most misunderstood Venus placements, even though I crack jokes with Venus and Leos. But I'm tapping this energy and I feel so misunderstood. I feel like people just don't get what I have to offer. They don't see what I have to offer until I'm giving it to someone else, you know? I find that Venus and Leos, as I said that, I feel like Venus and Leos are always the ones that are, like, they're the ones that got away. Like, Venus and Leos will start giving and giving and giving in a situation, and they get taken for granted. Like Venus and Virgo, they can get taken for granted because people just are so used to the Venus and Leo being there, being at their beck and call, that they're just like, you know, the Venus and Leo is just like, what the fuck, what about me, you know? And I find that the Venus in Leo gets told a lot, like, why are you so selfish? Like, why do you want everything about you? Like, but a lot of people don't see that the Venus and Leo actually does give up a lot for their friends and their family and their, oh my god, this is making me so sad, because I'm thinking about Venus and Leos and like what we don't see about them. And Venus and Leos, they give up a lot. They do. And they can become quite resentful because of this. I mean, I've known a lot of Venus and Leos in my life, and I just, you know, I just see that they do this a lot, and they can drive themselves crazy because, you know, they're literally like there for everyone else, but they're literally that Venus sign. Like, I'm always there for everyone, but no one's there when I need them, kind of thing. You know, nobody thinks to turn a blind eye to me when I need something, you know, like, but they're quick to reach out to me when they need something, and I'm always fucking there. You know, I'm always there. Venus and Leos, as much as people feel they are selfish and they want everything around them and centered around them in their own time, and yes, Venus and Leos do have that side of them. This is the darker side of them. They can be very selfish and reckless, and every fire sign can. All the fire signs can be. But Venus and Leos, also, as much as they're selfish, they're giving. They're as giving as they're selfish, you know? So they love passion. They're very sexual. They hide it. Whereas Aries is more expressive about it and open about their sex life. Like an Aries will tell you. Venus and Leo is very quiet about their sex life, actually. They're very private people. Leo in general is just very private, but which people don't see because they're like, hey, look at me, you know, a lot of times. But Venus and Leo are just like hush hush about their sex life. They're like, And they're very, very protective over their friends and their family and their lover, like so protective. So very, very, very protective people. Will go to bat for their friends, will go to bat for their family, their lovers. And I'm touching on all three of these because all of these three equally mean so much to the Venus and Leo. Venus and Leos like to have a community of people around them. They love to have that support system. You know, they like to have their pact. You know, think of a lion. Like, they like to have, which is ruled by them. You know, that's their animal. Like, a lion likes to have its pack. A lion likes to take care of its pack. You know, and they travel in their pack. So a Leo moves like that. A Leo will, they just want that support around them, and that means the most to them. And, you know, yes, they can be annoying at times. Yes, they can want a lot of the attention on them. Yes, they can be even competitive, like so competitive, which we'll talk about. But like I said, they are equally as, they make up for it. Venus and Leos make up for their annoying sides. Sorry, Venus and Leos, but they make up for it. They do. So let's talk about the dark side of Venus and Leos, because I feel like I touched on this a little bit in the Venus and Aries one, but so Venus and Leo, I'd say their darker side is that they can tend to take things out on themselves. Like, this is the side that people don't really see about Leos, is that when Leos beat themselves up, oh my god, it's scary, because they go into this like very dark place, and they will become depressed and like put aside all of their problems for everyone else just to make up for the times that they didn't feel validated. They are constantly seeking validation from other people, and if they don't have it, they spiral. They can spiral pretty bad when they don't have that validation. It's sad to watch when a Venus and Leo goes into this dark spiral. You just start to see them separate, isolate themselves, beat themselves up, and you're like, what the hell, like, what is going on with you? And they don't know how to quite tell you that they're beating themselves up, because Venus and Leo energy in general can be very, very prideful. They can tend to hurt their friends or their lover because they won't admit that they're sorry. Venus and Leo energy likes to be right a lot of the time, so they don't really like to like bend to you and show you that they're prideful. They'll deny that they're prideful. They'll deny that they're jealous. They'll deny that they're any type of way other than happy. Venus and Leos are those types that smile through everything too. Like, you don't, this is a darker side of them. Like, you don't see that they're hurting. They tend to be very prideful in that way, where they won't show that they're hurting because they don't like to seem weak or defeated or misunderstood. But a lot of times Venus and Leos tend to shoot themselves in the foot because they start becoming misunderstood. So that's something I feel that the Venus and Leo has to work on. Like, Venus and Aries needs to stop wanting everything about them and throwing tantrums, which I didn't say before, but Venus and Arians can throw tantrums. Well, Venus and Leos can throw tantrums, but it's more of an inner reflection of themselves and what they're going through, and they won't know how to express that or say, hey, this is what I'm going through, I need help. You know, Venus and Leos will not ask people for help, you know, especially their friends and their family. They would rather be there for other people and make up for it and suffer than to let people know that they need help, that they need an equal amount of time to have someone reach out to them, or be as giving to them as they are to their friend or their family or their lover. So yeah, Venus and Leo's dark side, that's pretty much their dark side. They can smile through things even though they're hurting. And I think of the song, Just Smile Even When You Are Hurting. Smile through, I forgot, I think it's by Nat King Cole, and it's called Smile, I think. Oh my god, that is such a Venus and Leo song. Like, Venus and Leos can also be very too much extra. And this can piss people off because they're like, why do you always need the attention? Why do you always need everything to center around you? But if you think about it, everything centers around the sun. So they're used to it. They're used to being, you know, a people pleaser, so to speak. Venus and Leo's darker side of them can be that they can be people pleasers to their detriment. So yeah, that's the darker side of Venus and Leos. They're very smart about their money, though. They're very smart about their money, and like I said, like, they're very good gift givers. So you can count on a Venus and Leo to like give you cute stuff, to be very giving to you. They're so romantic. Oh my god, they're so romantic. They're the types that will have rose petals on the bed and candles lit. a bath going, and it's just so like it's so cute. Also, they love taking care of people when they're sick too, or if they need help. So you'll see the Venus and Leo be like, do you need anything? What's wrong? Are you okay? You better eat, you better do this, you better do that, you know, like, did you eat today? Like, they're constantly doing that shit. And yeah, it can be annoying, but it's cute at the same time. So I'd say some turn on and offs for the Venus and Leo. Let's start with their turn offs. So Venus and Leos don't like mean people. Like, Venus and Leos, I cannot express that enough. If you're just being rude or relentless and just stupid for no reason, they get really aggravated. They get so mad. They don't like people that don't, what am I trying to say? They don't like people that don't show up, you know, don't show up and show out for their friends. Always are making excuses. Cancel. Oh my God. Venus and Leos cannot stand to get canceled on, or for you to like tell them that you can't do something because you're going to go hang out with this person. Venus and Leos are very possessive, like Venus and Aries, like so possessive of their friends, so possessive of themselves, of their time. They know their worth. They don't like wasting their time. They don't like to, that's another turn off for them, and their family too, I didn't say, but especially their family. Oh my God, don't come for a Venus and Leo's family. Like, that's a no-no. That's a no-no. Venus and Leos are so protective over their family. These are the type, again, they're not for the faint of heart. They're very protective over their family. They're very passionate about their family, and their friends, but I'd more so say their family is like Cancer. Their family is like everything to them. I've seen Venus and Leos do this a lot, where they'll put everything on the back burner for their family. Like, they're those types that will like have a great paying job, and if their family gets sick, they're like, quitting my job next day, hopping on a plane to go see my family and being there for my family. Like, they don't play when it comes to their family. And like Aries, they're the types that will like pull up and be like, what'd you say about my family? Like Venus and Leo can black out if you come for their family. Oh my God, the energy they give off when they're possessive is like, it can be very borderline scary. Venus and Leo and Aries, I say, share the same quality, where Venus and these two can be abusive. They can be abusive. This is another dark side of Aries I didn't touch on, but they can be abusive. Not all of them, but there are some Venus and Aries and Leos that can be very possessive to the point where they're abusive, and it can be very scary to deal with. You don't want to piss these people off. Oh my fucking gosh. Like, you will see a whole other side of them come out, and you will never be able to look at them the same once this side comes out. It's dark. It's dark. So yeah, Venus and Leo people love to be wined and dined, and they love expensive stuff. They love bougie stuff. You'll see them have they like to rock designer handbags. They like the latest trends. Venus and Leos tend to spend their money on looking good and looking presentable, whereas Aries, Venuses don't really care. They do like expensive stuff, but they don't really care about that too much. They more so care about the thrill of having fun. Leos can be very bougie, very fucking bougie. They like for their friends and family to spoil them. They spoil. So I personally know of a few Venus and Leos, and if I were to buy gifts, I would spoil them, you know. My best friend is a Venus and Leo. I'm talking about her. She would kill me, but she and I spoil the shit out of each other. Like, not that my best friend needs the spoiling. She doesn't care about that shit. She actually gets like weird about it, but then like low-key, I know she like appreciates it, because she's like, oh my God, like, you thought of me and you didn't have to, but you did. It's like, for them, it's like literally, even if the gift is expensive, it's the thought that counts, because you're willing to, because again, like I said, it's expressive, it's bigger than life, it's showboaty. So even if they say or act like they don't like it, they do. They like it. I don't know. It's not that they're materialistic like an earth sign. It's just that they like big acts of expression. Like, so even if they act like they don't like it, they do, because you took them into consideration. You know what I mean? Even if the gift is very small, as long as you thought of them, they're like, oh, I love it. So yeah, that is their turn-ons a little bit. Their turn-offs, like I said, are people that are just mean, people that aren't considerate, people that come for their family, people that are equally as all about them as they are, because the Venus and Leo likes for it I'm just saying, they like for it to be all about them. So if that's not what you're about, don't date these people. Yeah, so those they like to be, those were a little bit of their turn offs, but their turn ons again is that they like to have it be all about them. They like sex. They love sex. They like to have spontaneous sex in the house. So they don't need to go out like a Venus and Aries or Venus and Sag and just like be willy-nilly and having sex. Like, these people like to be confined and safe at the same time. But again, you don't see that because, you know, you need to get past that wall, that barrier that they put up. So they like romantic gestures. Like, these people are big saps, like big saps. We'll cry in chick flicks. We'll be like, oh my god, like, did you see that? That was so cute. Like, ah, like, these people love that shit. Like, especially like really cheesy, corny like movies, like where, you know, like I think of, for them, I think of when like the boombox outside the house. I forgot what movie that was. I can't think of it right now, but that's literally Venus and Leo. They would fall at your feet if you did that. If you, like, they wouldn't even see that as stalker. They would think that was cute. Venus and Scorpio would like that shit too, a little bit. Just a little bit. So yeah, that's my spiel on Venus and Leo. Those are a few of their turn-ons. Like I said, big acts of kindness, grand gestures of romance, loyal and devotion, giving all of your one-on-one attention. But again, these people, as much as they like the clinginess, they can like it. They do like it. They do like clinginess, unlike Aries. I didn't say this, but Venus and Leos do like the clinginess. They do. But how much do you mean to them, though? That's the thing. How into you are they? They won't show you that they like it. They'll act like a Venus and Scorpio, like, oh, I don't like that. But they'll like secretly like love it. And when you leave, it's just like they can get really depressed and sad because they become used to the attention, the validation, right? So that can be a little bit something that I feel they need to be careful of. So what would go with a Venus in Leo? I'd say is, for the water sign, is Venus in Scorpio. For the fire, I would say Venus in Sagittarius. Yeah, Venus in Sagittarius. For the earth, I would say Venus in Taurus, possibly. And for the air, I would say for Venus and Leo, for the air, Venus and Aquarius. Last but not least, guys, certainly not least, Venus and Sagittarius is up next. So Venus and Sagittarius, Sagittarian's planet ruler is Jupiter, and Jupiter is all about expansion, luck, growth, higher learning, philosophy, and just good luck. You know, these people, Venus and Sagittarius, are very, very optimistic people. So yeah, like I was saying about Venus and Sagittarius, these people are very optimistic people. They love optimistic people. They like people that don't, like, they don't like people that hold themselves back from anything. A big turn on for them is someone that is a go-getter. Like I was saying about Aries, like, loves to get out there. Is it this placement, Venus and Sag, are adrenaline junkies too. They like to go out and travel, have fun. So they keep things fresh with them, is you got to continuously show them that you can have a good time. So when dealing with this placement, I would take them out on trips, spontaneous trips. Like, they love spontaneity. They love it. They love spontaneity. Oh my god, these people are the kings and queens of this. Like, they just love it. They love people that know how to have a good time. They like to go to clubs. They like to party. They don't like to take shit seriously. They don't take shit seriously. If they do, it's probably in something that they're very passionate in, I'd say. They don't like being held down, so they can be prone to not, you know, having monogamous relationships. They'll dabble in everything. Like, these people, not to make them sound like whores or sluts or anything like that, and I don't want to use that word, but the fire signs can get told, besides Leo, they can get told, like Aries and Sag, man, they get told that they're cheaters, they're heartbreakers, they can't commit. And because the reason I feel for Sagittarius Venuses they can't or don't want to commit is why, like, when there's so much to explore out there, this is a very explorative sign. They don't like to be told what to do. That's a big turn off for them. They don't like to be held down. They don't like to be told where and who to date and what to date. So they'll dabble in everything. Like, they'll dabble in being with a woman, they'll dabble in being with a man. They don't care. You know, they like to live their life. Their sign is all about expansion, growth. So if the situation calls for them to grow, they'll naturally gravitate towards it. They'll naturally get out there, see what's out there, and live their life, man. This placement is not one to be held down. So if you're looking to be possessive over them, oh my God, good luck. They don't. Venus and Aries and Leo can deal with it, but Venus and Sag they're the ones that are like, hell fucking no, like, you're not going to be possessive over me. You're not going to tell me what I can and cannot do. You're not going to check up on me. You know, I don't want you to check up on me. I'm fine. These people, Venus and Sagittarius, are very independent. So you need to have shit going for yourself too. If you date them, you need to have shit going for yourself. You need to be as busy as they are, because they like to keep their shit busy. Like, these people don't have time for nonsense. They can be prone to bullshitting, okay? Like, they can be prone to it, but they don't have time for the bullshit. They really don't. They don't need... That's the biggest thing I can say for Venus and Sagittarius is that they'll tell you that. Like, I don't have time for that bullshit. You know what I mean? Like, they're very blunt people. They don't... Again, they're not really attached. They are detached, actually. And they're not very emotional. So they can have moments where they're loyal, for sure, as they get older. Venus and Sagittarius want to grow and expand and share their life with someone, and they want to take someone on that journey with them. Don't get me wrong. There are Venus and Sagittarius that are very loyal, and they want to be held down by someone. They want that ride or die by their side. That does exist, but a lot of times it takes them a while, like Venus and Aries, to get there, you know, whereas Leo comes out like, I want that. You know, Venus and Sag can look very indecisive at the same time as they are confident, at the same time as they are wanting to be held down. They can want their freedom. They can, I think that's what I was saying, they can want their freedom. They want both pieces of the pie, is what I'm trying to say. They're the types that like to have their cake and eat it too. You know, well, why can't I? You know, I want to be held down with someone. I want to ride or die, but I also want to live my life, you know. And I personally don't see anything wrong with that. I don't see anything wrong with that. Yeah, so that's what I would say about Venus and Sagittarius is they do take their friends seriously. Friendship means everything to a Venus and Sag. They're so loyal. They're so caring to their friends. But what I find that people can find very frustrating about them is that they will disappear and then come back. Like I said, these people don't like answering to anyone, so don't expect to get an answer from them. Don't expect for them to respond back to you very fast when you text them. They just come and go as they please. They're wanderers, like Pisces. They're wanderers. They don't have time to be held down, basically. They're boss-ass bitches. Another thing I've noticed about them is that they'll tend to be CEOs of their own companies. They'll be on business trips, so they can be all about business. You know, they love running their own companies. Maybe they'll have their own like Etsy shop or their own boutique, or, you know, running a company, like I said, or doing their own thing, whatever business they have, whatever that is. You know, these people like to be their own bosses. Like, they don't, yes, Venus and Sag, like, they love being their own bosses. They don't like working a 9-to-5. That's not their passion. The Venus planet in astrology deals with too, being passionate, you know, about what you're doing, what you love, basically. And not only what you love, but who you love too. But they want to be the own bosses of their life, you know. So again, these people are all about exploitation, you know, getting out there, seeing what's out there, doing their own thing, not being held down, not being tied down. They can't stand that. So I'd say that's their turn off for sure. People that want to hold them down, people that just are very reliant on them. So the darker side I'd say about Venus and Sagittarius before we get into their turn on and turn offs is Venus and Sagittarius can be selfish in the regards to like not answering to people, you know. Like, I'm not saying that they owe anyone an explanation, because they feel like they don't, but they can be reckless in the sense where they'll go off and do their own thing, even if it's putting themselves in danger. and not care about who like gets word of it or who suffers from it. They can tend to worry their partners because they're just like, well, don't worry, I'll be back. And their partner's like, well, where are you going? Venus and Sag. And they're like, I said I'll be back. Trust that I'll be back. They want people to have blind trust in them a lot of times. And they have to understand that doesn't happen overnight. Like, you know, like people can't just have blind trust in you. It just doesn't happen like that. You know what I mean? They don't like to be questioned. You know, they off the bat are just like, well, this is what it is. This is how I am. And I'm not making any exceptions. I'm not, you know, going to change who I am for you. And that's okay. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but this can be toxic to the point where if they're doing something toxic that is putting themselves in danger or putting that person in danger, they will, when they're not developed, it can get too much to deal with. They can be too much to deal with because they don't stop to consider. They're impulsive too, so they don't stop to consider, okay, this is going to hurt that person if I do this, or if I make this move, or so they'll be in, like, literally they'll be in relationships and they'll go gamble and they won't care. Another thing I'd say as I'm talking about that, another thing I'd say that's a dark side of them is they can be prone to addiction. They can be, because, you know, their ruling planet is about overindulgence. You know, Jupiter's overindulgence because it's expanding, so you can overdo it on something, you know, not quite like Leo, but they can, and I say Leo does it in the best way. Sagittarius is, I hate to say it like this, but they can overindulge in something, so they can get addicted to wanting more and more and more and never being satisfied with what they have, or just in the addictive sense where they can go and keep doing something that's very toxic for themselves or their family. So this can be about drugs, you know, sex, cheating, gambling. These people are prone to, I say prone, but it's true, like they're prone to just overindulging in things that sometimes aren't the best things for them, or even if it's healthy for them, they can just take it over the top, like overdo it, extra as fuck, you know. Other thing I'd say is the dark side of them is that they can be quite abusive with the way they handle things with their family. Like I said, these are the types of people that will just do things and not want to give you an explanation. They'll be like, well, it is what it is, and I don't care. Like, they can be too nonchalant about things and put others in harm's way or hurt others or be heartbreakers. These people get told that they could be fuck boys or fuck girls. Like, oh, you just don't care who you fuck over. Like, you're just out here doing you, living your life, not caring. They're like, yeah, pretty much. Like, that's what I do, and I don't have to answer to you or anyone. And that can be a dark side to deal with when they're operating from a really bad place, you know. They can also be too fearless. Too fearless. Like, it's good to be fearless, but they can be too fearless, like Aries, like where they just are like, I'll go do it and I'm gonna be impulsive about it, you know, and whatever, you know. So also another dark side is they'll let people get away. Like, they'll be like, well, I let that person get away. I've seen this a lot with Sagittarius energy where they'll like someone and they'll just let them get away, and they're like in this relationship where they're happy, but they'll go back to their ex, or because they're wondering, like they're never satisfied, so they're like wondering, oh, what would that have been like, you know? Sagittarius too can be selfish in the fact that they can ruin something that is amazing because they don't feel like they deserve it. This is a very insecure side of Sagittarians that people don't see, but they often are those types of people that will want something that they can't have, or, you know, and they'll ruin something very good to go back to something that they couldn't have. You know, they'll be like, oh, you know, like that didn't work out, so I'm like wondering like what would have happened if I would have went back. They'll go back and wonder what would have happened if I would have done that, if I would have went back to that person. Like, oh my god, like would I be the same person? Like, oh my god. And they'll just like overly obsess about it, and I've dealt with this so much with Sagittarius, guys. Like, Venus and Sag, you guys need to stop doing that. Like, it's stressful. Like, and they'll have something good. Like, just Sagittarius energy, they do this. Like, I've read on Sagittarians where they're just like, I pull on them and they're having something great, but their ex pops in. They're like, yeah, I've been entertaining talking to my ex. What? You know, like, stop doing that. Not all Sagittarians do this, but I've read on those people that they clearly have something amazing, but because they're bored or they like chaos, they're just like, but I want to go over there and do this and do that. Like, No, stop doing that. Like, it's not healthy. Hey guys, so like I said, I was going to interrupt the video. Well, the video is almost done. Thank God I had the rest of the footage, but I don't have the very end part of what I said, so we're just going to make this part really short. Venus and Sagittarius, I was basically saying in the footage before I deleted it, because I'm a dodo, but basically I was saying in the rest of the Sagittarius footage that Venus and Sagittarians can tend to look back and regret a lot of things, even though they, even though they don't like to admit it, or they act like they don't regret shit and they don't have any regrets in life. They do tend to regret things, they just, again, don't like showing it. It's their pride. So real quick, some placements that I feel will go with, well, the elements. We're going to go down by the elements like I've been doing, but let's start with Earth. So for Venus and Sagittarius, in the Earth element, I would say Venus in Virgo, because y'all Sagittarian energy love Virgos. For the water, I would say Venus in, I'm going to say Venus in Pisces for Venus and Sagittarius. And for the air, I'm going to say Venus in Aquarius or Gemini. No, I'm going to say Venus in Gemini, actually. Just kidding. And then in the last element, which is fire, I'm going to say Venus in Leo for Venus and Sagittarius. Alright guys, so I hope you enjoyed my reading on the Venus placements, my whole spiel on the Venus placements. This series has been so fun to record, so make sure you guys check out the rest of my videos and make sure that you hit that subscribe button when you'll know when I upload, and also make sure that you hit the notification bell, ding ding, for when I pull up, right? Yeah, so next is Venus in Air, and let's hope when I edit that one goes smooth. Once again, guys, if you would like to book a personal reading with me, please email me at shadestarot@yahoo.com, and check me out. Check out the rest of my videos. What you waiting for? Thank you, boo. Alright, I hope you guys have a good day or night. Love and light. Bye, guys.